Peace and welcome back to Perfect Exposure. My name is Jeff, and hopefully by now you've been learning a lot. We've talked about a lot of things like what camera to buy, what lens, and even what flash to buy. And I've walked you through my process of choosing each one of those that works best for me and my skill set. Now we want to talk about something that's really simple, but it can make a huge difference in your photography. And what I'm talking about is filters. So whenever I bring up filters, a lot of people ask me straight up, hey Jeff, do I really need filters for photography? And the long or short answer of it is, it depends. It really depends on what type of photography you're doing. It also depends on how you nurture your skill set, how you learn, and what's more comfortable for you. Because filters are to make our photography just a little bit easier and also to make us comfortable in different situations. And I'll explain that a little bit more here in just a little bit, right? But first, let's talk about filters, and I'm gonna break down 3 filters, and these are the 3 most popular filters when you're talking about photography. I'm gonna break those down for you, and when I do so, I'm gonna tell you honestly whether or not I use them or not. So, the 3 filters that I wanna talk about, the first one is UV filters. The second one is gonna be polarized or circular polarizing filters, and the third one is going to be ND or neutral density filters. So let's break these down and let's get an honest answer of whether or not I use any or even all of these filters. So let's talk about it. The first one that we're gonna go to is UV filters. Quite frankly, what is a UV filter? A UV filter is a piece of glass that goes over your lens, and what it does is it protects your lens from ultraviolet rays. So essentially it's a piece of glass that actually protects your lens. Sounds like a really good investment, and you can find some from really good prices as well. Now, honest answer, Jeff, do you use UV filters? The answer would be no. One of the reasons why I do not use, and the main reason why I do not use UV filters is for simply one reason. I really don't like the notion of putting another piece of glass over my expensive or my lens. My lens is to give me the look that I need. So whenever I put something else in front of it, to me, it can damage or it can actually diminish the quality of that particular lens, the whole entire reason why I'm shooting with that lens in the first place. So that's one of the things. I do not use a UV filter because of the fact I just don't like putting something clear over my lens because I want that lens to have its own natural look. Honest enough? Let's move on to the second one. The second one is actually circular polarizing lens. Now, circular polarizer or polarizing lens, however you say it or however you use it, or whatever type you buy, this lens is actually used for a variety of things. This lens is actually used to reduce reflections. This lens is also used to actually bring up blues and greens. So you can actually change the blue of a sky just with this lens. This lens is kind of like magic because it works with removing reflections. It also helps with removing sun rays from water. So if you ever got water or glares that's off of a watery or a shiny surface, this polarizing filter will actually remove some of those glares to make it easier for you to shoot with. Again, honest answer, do I personally use a polarizing lens? And again, the answer for me is no. I don't use a polarizing lens. Now, not that I don't see the benefits of a polarizing lens, I don't use a polarizing lens for the simple fact that I love to get things correct in camera. And when I get things correct in camera, I move and compose my camera and my picture to get what I want from that particular shot. So if I need a blue sky or if I need water not to be reflective, I will move myself or my subject to get exactly what I want. And I rather do that because it helps me harness on my skill set and focus and let me know what I can do in world before I actually put something on to make it a little bit easier. But I do see the benefits of polarizers, and I do think they're excellent piece to add to your photography bag if you need to, because it will make certain jobs a little bit easier by cutting out glares, cutting out reflections, and also increasing or decreasing blue and green hues. So I don't use polarizers, but I think they're an awesome piece of equipment to have, so you may think about getting some. The last one that I actually want to talk about is going to be an ND filter, or a neutral density filter. What I want to do is I actually want to read the actual definition of what an ND or neutral density filter is, because I don't think it quite harnesses what it actually does. Then I want to break that down and give you a simple version of what a neutral density filter is and what it does. And I do, again, want to tell you an honest answer of whether or not I use it or not. So first, let's actually talk about the definition. And right here, a neutral density filter reduces or modifies the intensity of the wavelengths, colors, or light that equals to or greater than one stop. Lot of mumbo jumbo, right? What that is basically saying is that a neutral density filter pretty much cuts the light by stops when it comes to how your camera sees. Think of it like this, and I've always heard this term, think of a neutral density filter as sunglasses for your camera. When you think of it as sunglasses for your camera, the exact same thing what sunglasses do for your eyes, a neutral density filter does the exact same thing for your camera. And you can get those sunglasses very dark, or you can get them just only a little bit dark. So the different stops is how much is cutting light. Now, honest answer, do I use neutral density filters? And again, I have to say I do not for photography at least. I don't use neutral density filters for photography because when it comes to cutting light, the main source that I normally cut light from would actually be the sun or the ambient light from outside. And I actually use a separate method to cut that light, and that method that I use is high-speed sync. Now, we'll talk a lot about high-speed sync here in the creative portion when we start uncovering off-camera flash. But first, I just want to let you know that because I use high-speed sync, I don't have the need for neutral density filters. But just like polarizers, I see and I understand the reasoning for actually having neutral density filters. So, and long story short, there are no filters that I actually use at all when shooting photography. I like shooting photography with a native lens. I like shooting photography with nothing over that native lens. So I draw on other things to help me create what these filters can actually do by placing them on their lens. So with that being said, I hope that helps you kind of determine whether or not a filter will work in your photography, but now at least you have a better understanding to make a better decision. My name is Jeff, and I'm in the light, giving you that perfect exposure. Peace.
Peace. I hope that video was really helpful to you. And I just wanted to remind you, if you're really ready to get started in this photography business, really go from the basic to the business and everything in between with photography, I wanted to let you know that I have a full course, over 45 videos detailing how you can do just that. It's called Perfect Exposure Course, and all you need to do is go to www.perfectexposurecourse.com to sign up now. Once you sign up, you will get 25 minutes of free training that I give to you personally. And plus, quick hint, after that, you want to wait until the video is completely over because I give you a code on how you can get the full course lifetime membership for 50% off. That's right, 50% off, but that's going on right now. So make sure you go to perfectexposurecourse.com. Again, my name is Jeff, and I'm in the light giving you that perfect exposure. Peace.